Well, the future of Iraq today is now indeterminate, in large part because of the botched occupation, where we tried not just to change the government, but the army, the police, the coinage, the currency, everything. The model was Nazi Germany, but that was leveled in rubble, so we had our way. Ironically, the initial toppling of the Saddam government was so economical, so efficient, historically so discriminating, that it left Iraq essentially intact, and we did not have our way. But then there was another turning point, which was the surge, which was the finest moment of the Bush administration. Democrats opposed it almost unanimously, and it restored Iraq, it redeemed the effort, it defeated the insurgency, it decimated al-Qaeda in Iraq, and it created the conditions for stability. And then the worst irony is that Obama was handed one task alone. The war had been won on the ground, to preserve the gains by negotiating an agreement to leave behind a residual force, to mediate between the sects, to train the army, and to exert American influence. And that would have left us with Iraq as a strategic ally in the region. And Obama botched it. He did not. He was not successful. He delegated it to the vice president. It was a failure. And as a result, Iraq is now out of our hands. We have no influence at great sacrifice. And I think that's sort of the most ironic tragedy of them all.
Today there was an exchange between James Rosen and Jay Carney at the White House, in which eventually Carney said that George W. Bush was to be credited for taking out Saddam Hussein, along with the U.S. military who were there, obviously. Is there an issue in looking back and seeing the good in Iraq, talking about it?
Look, the good is unmistakable. The Saddam regime, the dynasty with his sons, was the cruelest on the planet. It was a sadistic government, and it was also the most aggressive, starting wars on all fronts, attacking all its, and it's gone. And Iraq now is not a threat. It's not exactly democratic, but it's not the hell that the Saddam Iraq was, and that is an undeniable advance. The problem is, for Americans, the sacrifice was huge and tragic, and the strategic advantage which we had hoped to gain, to have something of an ally in Iraq, I think was squandered at the end of the surge.